Let's go to contracts.
Okay,
Let's go to
so
create.
let's do.
Oops,
Yeah, let's.
You're fun. Oh, we can't do it because we're offline.
Oh dear Lord. Okay,
I
so
forgot
maybe
about
here's
snap
what we
processing.
do. Maybe we pause.
Maybe
and we
we
fix
update
this
the
real
game.
quick.
Yeah, I like that.
And here's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna delete something. I'll just cut this part out, so don't worry about it. We're gonna delete something that we don't need on here. Let's see. What don't we need? Maybe some content from like a game.
No, go to your library.
Yeah, it's probably my capture library more than anything. I could delete
Probably
something
right.
that I don't need.
Whoa, 86 gigs. Yeah. probably.
Let's
you got 4
let's
gigs
delete
of
some. We can delete
Assassin's
some out of
Creed.
here. We don't need much of these
I'm gonna go
clips.
back and play some Assassin's Creed.
In fact, I'm pretty sure I put all these clips up. Options.
Yeah, the white arrow tells you.
Oh my god, is it really gonna make me do this just to delete like 4 videos?
No, you don't. No, go back.
Oh, that's a share button. No, I pressed the wrong button. Option. Delete. Select all. Bye. Bye memories. Goodbye.
There we
Okay,
go.
that should be
took
enough
care of 4 gigs right there.
to update. Check for update. Yeah, there's an update.
Oh man,
Still not enough.
Well, that sucks.
How much is it?
5
5
gigs.
gigs.
You need 1 more gig.
I need 1 more gigabyte. Need exactly 1 more gigabyte. What has 1 more gig? Destiny. Maybe. You know what, Destiny? You're losing out in this case. Video clips. It's just me dancing. Most of the time, it's just me dancing. I can live with that. Those are memories too. Goodbye.
My memories.
So long. We need an update here. This is important so that we can actually play the thing that we will set out to play. Go to downloads. 4%. Eric, we could just hang out here for a moment. We're recording all this information for posterity.
Yeah.
People love that. They love knowing how long it takes for your internet to download something.
And that's just preparing.
Hey, that's just preparing. Yeah, we don't even know if that's...
We're gonna see.
God, if that says 30 minutes, I'm going to be pissed off or
Well,
something.
If that's the case, then
4
we can,
minutes.
Oh, there you go.
We
That's
can
what
wait.
I'm talking
We're
about.
patient. I can
Wait
drink
a
my
minute.
beer for 4
Look at
minutes.
how it says it's only 1 gig,
Yeah.
and it just made you delete 4
Oh,
gigs of shit.
are you fucking kidding me?
What the fuck is that?
Maybe that's part 1? No, it says version 1.05, so...
That's weird.
Cocksuckers. I mean, it's like uncompressed data or some dumb thing or something.
I'm telling you, if I invested in that hard drive to dump all my games on,
Mm-hmm.
if that shit don't play on the next system,
I
done.
can't think that they'd be stupid enough to get rid of
Because when
backwards
they're pushing
compatibility.
you towards digital like this, PS3 had the awkward, hey,
So,
get everything on disc, but
Here's the reason. You know the reason why, right?
for what? Pushing
Why
digital?
that was such a weird transition from 3 to 4?
Not especially.
Because they fucked up during 3 and they picked a system architecture that was so complex that nobody knew how to fucking emulate it.
Oh.
So they didn't put it on PS4 because they were just like, nobody wants to go to the trouble of doing that. So hopefully, because they went with something that's more of an industry standard in terms of a console, it's more like a computer than it's ever been.
That's good.
Just a fast computer. That hopefully that means they won't fuck up with emulation or changing shit too much.
Oh.
Which I can't think they would, the way things
Right.
are sounding. Like if they make that mistake, especially with like what Microsoft did publicly when the last consoles were announced, they would have to be the dumbest motherfuckers on the planet.
Yeah.
Because they saw what they did though.
Yeah.
Like they saw how publicly like they just got derailed,
Yeah.
People were like, nope, we're not I'm not buying that thing. I don't have internet all the time.
Yeah.
And you're like,
Yeah.
but first of all, who doesn't have a console and have internet though? Like you need it. There's just no way to not.
But my thing is the whole
It's
like
like
I
a
said,
computer with no internet.
The whole reason I got that drive was so I could have all those games downloaded, so I wouldn't have to delete and then re-download and reinstall and all that. I wanted to make sure I had it all on the drive.
Sure.
For the future, when this is no longer, quote unquote supported, I could pop it in and take the hard drive at least in the PlayStation 5 or whatever and play those games too.
Well, like it's like the story of your Mac,
Yeah.
Like you tried to put all that stuff from the old computer onto the brand new
Caused some shit.
computer, and it didn't work at all because it was treating it like a, running an old version on the new version.
Yeah.
So I got to think that they're gonna come up with some way to do that.
Fingers crossed.
I mean, I don't like the idea of subscription services for games. I think it's actually kind of stupid.
I don't either. It's weird.
Because it's always going to be streaming, and that seems dumb to me.
I saw
or it should be subscription and download. That's what.
When
it should
I was
be.
visiting Alex, and he's got the PlayStation Now,
Mm-hmm.
and I will say it did play pretty well.
Okay.
As long as you got good internet, sure, it'll work. But again, you're at the mercy of your internet service.
Right.
So you could be mid-game, and if you have dips and,
or you hit a data cap or some shit.
Yeah,
what happens then?
Then you're fucked. So, yeah, no, I'm not. Not a fan.
15%.
Don't support streaming.
You don't support streaming?
I don't.
Streaming services?
I don't. What? I mean, see,
that one.
In terms of. So that just turns into a whole nother argument. That's why I still buy my movies physically, because I always want them. Because there will be a time in a day when you buy something digitally.
The apocalypse.
And it will not be available because something happened with the publisher.
Wouldn't it be funny if you were that, how like that Twilight Zone episode where like the guy breaks his glasses after like the apocalypse and like he's like, oh, but he's like, but there was time, and he was thinking about all the things he could have read because nobody was around.
Yeah.
Do you think you'll be the guy after the apocalypse with all the Blu-rays holding them up and he's like, but there's time now? And you'll survive somehow. You got into the bomb shelter.
That's right. I'll be able to. Yeah. Damn right.
Now
right.
I have my movies. There's no more streaming because somebody dropped a bomb.
Yeah.
And now you can watch. Man, that would be great though too, because you go to like every store and like just take every Blu-ray that ever existed.
Yeah.
You just sit back and watch all the classics, man.
You're fine.
Yeah,
You're
nobody's
good.
gonna bother you.
Whenever you want, however you want. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
The future.
All about it, because I'm on the that Warner Brothers feedback community or whatever. Mm-hmm. So every time I get surveys weekly about.
And you couldn't go see Aquaman.
Yeah, that was fucking. Oh my.
I saw that.
I'm hopefully going this weekend. We're trying to etch out some more date nights before Baby H arrives.
There you go.
Before Baby E Huffy arrives.
Yep.
And get that invite. Hey, we're having early screenings for Aquaman December 15th, 16th, and 17th. Enter your zip code to see where there's one near you. Enter your zip code. Oh, no. Sorry. It's nowhere fucking near you in a 250-mile radius.
Where was it even being hosted at?
Anywhere but Michigan.
Really? None in Michigan? Huh.
Nah, that's a lie. I think somewhere deep in Detroit.
Like
I think
AMC
like Royal Oak or something
shit.
had one, but it's like, I'm not going to fucking drive almost 2 hours to go see.
There's nothing wrong with Royal Oak. You go out there.
I love Royal Oak, but again, I'm not going to drive 2 hours to go see a movie.
It's a 12 Oaks or something mall.
Somewhere around there.
Yeah.
That was slightly disappointing, but I'll survive.
That's a long drive, though. Yeah, you're right.
I'll survive. You know what movies need to do now? What Aquaman is proving? To release movies all over the world except America first. Do America last. Aquaman has shattered all comic book movie records in China.
Do you think that's also timing, though, too? Like
I think
this is also like timing because there isn't a big Marvel thing happening. Or...
I think it's timing, but then I also think it has to do not all comic book movies go over to China too. I think they like kind of pick and choose.
And they also edit them.
But a lot of it too is America's fucking the creation of toxicity, to where when you get so much bullshit out there, because everybody loves to shit on something no matter what.
Sure.
That all that negativity makes its way around the world. They're like, well, I don't want to see this piece of shit movie.
That's the thing that's hard about,
in
like
Europe,
opinions.
they don't give a fuck. Europe and China, they don't give a shit about bloggers and critics and reviewers. They're like, I just want to go see a movie. And what do? They pay their money and they enjoy it.
But don't you think that maybe it's time, maybe this is just being me as a snob or something like that, but like, we just get away from these movies for a while, like a 3-year cap on superhero movies and just do something else Like, get us back to like traditional dramas and themed movies or original sci-fi, things that aren't Star Trek, things that aren't Star Wars, things that aren't like everything, like westerns. It could be anything. I don't really care.
And the funny thing is,
I mean, maybe that's
there's
streaming.
no shortage of those.
Mm-hmm.
It's unfortunate that they're the ones that don't have the budget for the marketing, and nobody. Unfortunately, okay. Here we go. Here's just a rabbit hole. So, it's all Disney's fault. All of this.
They kind of split up all this stuff.
The oversaturation of these type of films is Disney's fault. That's why people want to start seeing, cut down the superhero stuff a bit. When you got DC that's plugging out a movie once every couple of years, and you got Marvel that's pumping out 3 a year, 4 a year.
Yeah.
That's where the fucking oversaturation comes from.
Sure.
There's no shortage of dramas and other genres of film. They're all there, but guess what? We never hear about it because those movies don't generate clicks because bloggers and critics and Rotten Tomatoes, they don't fucking care about that stuff.
Too. Yeah, it's about box office.
They know that if they put an article out there that says Robert Downey Jr. says XYZ about Avengers 4, they're going to get a bazillion clicks.
That's true.
As opposed to Liam Neeson is not going to take this role in a drama, it's going to get 10 clicks.
Well, that's
because the internet's been conditioned to
and
care
like
about
how much like weight does a personal actor's fan base sway as opposed to like something like a property like those comic books. Yeah,
that's why you still see articles about The Last Jedi, because these fucking crazy people know that if they put anything out there about The Last Jedi,
it'll get a bunch of
it's gonna get
it's only been a year since I came out,
crazy?
So I do think that is,
and that my friends highlights a genius of a movie. Because
so now you're saying it's a genius movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I don't think you said that originally.
When I first saw the movie, I didn't know how to feel about it, and I didn't really like it. But then I saw it again.
Now you're it's got all the conflict, so it's a good movie.
Well, because to me, what ends up making a good movie that will stand the test of time, I'm telling you right now, people are going to talk about The Last Jedi more than The Force Awakens.
But, okay,
in the future.
Let me put it to you this way. Do you think that maybe sometimes that conversation between both sides, the thing that gets lost is the reason why there's so much conflict between both sides is because the story is actually either confusing or convoluted?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right.
For sure.
So,
for sure.
I'm not saying that it's a bad movie. Never have. Well, maybe I did, but that's because I didn't eat anything during the 3 hours that movie was on screen.
Yeah.
Or before or during. But then watching it again, 6 months later, I was like, oh, it's actually not that bad. It's, got some confusing parts in it, and I can kind of see why they made those decisions. But
you know what'll fix all the hate and all the negativity and the fights about what's good and bad? How the fuck do we know what's a good movie and what's a bad movie? Here's the thing.
Only Jesus knows.
Only Jesus knows.
In this holiday season, only Jesus knows.
Well, the conversation should be is, I like this movie or I do not like this movie.
Yeah.
When you frame it as, this is a good movie.
No, but Eric, you're
movie.
a bad person for liking that movie. You don't know that, right? You didn't know.
Terrible
you didn't know that.
Yeah, I know.
You like Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull and.
That's okay. Yeah, this is the funny part. No, this is the crazy thing is almost all movies that are quote unquote universally hated or criticized.
Sure.
Even movies, video games, TV shows, I fucking love them. Enterprise was absolutely hated at the time.
Yeah, that's true.
Love it.
It
now
is
great. Now there's more of an appreciation for it. All the Indiana Jones video games, utter garbage.
There is a better appreciation.
The reviewers.
Yeah.
Those are my favorite games.
Sure.
Crystal Skull. I fucking love that movie. Did it have a bunch of stupid shit in it?
Yeah.
Because guess what? All the Indiana Jones movies have stupid shit in them.
And did George Lucas.
My favorite superhero movies are Man of Steel and Batman vs. Superman. I fucking love Batman vs. Superman.
True.
I think it's genius. Fucking universally hated for some crazy reason by a lot of people.
I am personally the only... I'm one of
It's
like
just fun.
I'm like God, like I'm like a carbon copy of like anybody else that would even talk about this. That's why I think like us. This is gonna be a special thing. I'm gonna cut this out,
is
and
gonna
this is
be
just gonna be a
nice,
special
like,
thing that I
can
just
you-
put on the website.
And you
It's
have
just
to
and
have
it's
the
just
video.
this. It's just this video.
This is why we're talking about it.
It's just this
is
video
funny.
of like here's what we do when we're waiting for Hitman to install an update.
Yeah.
We talk about other stuff,
Yeah.
and this is what we do, people. This is like
Mhm.
this is the kind of conversations we have.
That's right.
So join us. No, but the thing about it is that and see now I lost my train of thought, but I lost my train of thought. But I was
Sorry.
basically just saying like this is the sort of thing like people make it into attack of things that you like, but there's always going to be somebody who likes something that you don't like or enjoy anyways.
What makes me mad is for The Last Jedi, for example. That movie gets so much hate from people. People do have to realize there's a lot of people that obviously love the shit out of that movie for whatever reasons, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, there's nothing
Same
wrong
with
it.
the people that shit on Batman, Superman's another example. Again, like I said, that's probably now is one of my all-time favorite superhero movies, but the people hate that a lot, but there are people that enjoy this stuff.
I know what I was gonna say.
Okay,
I could be classified as somebody who is sort of a snob when it comes to like some type of movies and stuff, and that's why we haven't really done a lot of movie type reviews other than like big things that are usually out there.
The big blockbusters,
which hopefully we'll be able to talk about other stuff soon, like just random shit that like you and I watched, like you said, North by Northwest and
Right.
stuff. But when I was thinking about like, oh, what superhero movies like what's the ones that I like? I would just say the first Christopher Nolan Batman, and the second one. I didn't particularly like the third. And then I'm kind of like that snob who's like, oh, what's the next Quentin Tarantino or Coen Brothers movie that's available? And like I was gonna ask you, like, have you seen The Ballad of Buster Scruggs on Netflix? That's the new Coen Brothers.
Oh, okay.
And what it is like 6 separate stories about different cowboy themed stories.
Okay.
And they all vary from like super dark to like jovial funny to like bizarre. But like, yeah, I'm hoping we get into that, but I'm also classically one of those people like, yeah, you can make fun of me for the shit I like because like I fucking know that like I like the shit that I like, and like, yeah, I'll like a fucking Tarantino movie, and yeah, I'm like, that's the market. I'm the person that is marketed to. Like, he's making a new movie? Okay, cool, let's go see that. Coen Brothers are making another movie? Cool, let's go see that. Christopher Nolan's making a movie? All right, cool, let's go see that. Like, I know track record, so I'll like something, but like you can't hate me for liking that.
No, and when you find a director that you enjoy, you want to follow what they do. Like when we went and saw Dunkirk, we were like, God damn, like what other genre could Christopher Nolan do that I want to see?
Exactly.
I'm like that with him, with Spielberg, Tarantino to a degree, Snyder. I love everything that he's ever done.
Sure.
It's just you have your favorites. God damn it. What one of my all-time favorite Batman movies is? Fucking Batman Forever with Val fucking Kilmer.
Yeah, that's true. Are
you fucking kidding me? Like,
did I have? Wait, no. I'm just
guilty
thinking.
pleasure.
I'm just thinking "Kiss from a Rose."
Yeah, that was in there.
And a kiss from a rose on the-
Yeah. I remember as a kid going to
now that your roses have bloomed.
going to the record store. Okay, record store.
That was God. That album was hot.
I went to get the cassette tape of the soundtrack to Batman Forever. But little did so that was 1995.
Parental advisory?
What grade were we in 1995? Would that have been like third or fourth grade?
Yeah, it sounds
Something
about
like
right.
that?
Yeah.
Buying that, plugging it in, and then hearing fucking U2 hold me. Hold me. And I'm like, what in the fuck did I just buy?
You bought the wrong album.
Yeah, well, they didn't come out with this. I thought it was the soundtrack. It wasn't the soundtrack. It was the songs that were inspired by the movie. It's not the fucking soundtrack.
Really?
Yeah.
Thus
yeah.
started your love of movie
so
soundtracks.
Unfortunately, it made me so angry.
Yeah.
I was like, but then, I was like, okay, I get it.
I think you shared a picture of this, and I think this is funny. Like, do you know you've seen Parks and Recreations, right?
Oh, God, yeah.
In like Ben Wyatt and like the whole like the soundtrack thing. That's like fucking you to a T, man.
I shared that saying that's my wife and I in the car because she loves, she enjoys my music.
Don't say anything you don't want being shared, Eric.
She enjoys my music. But when you turn on shuffle and she hits, the skip and it hits like soundtrack, and she always goes, "What the fuck? You have so many soundtracks for it." And then I always think of that Ben Wyatt, and he's like, "I like to think of it as a director making a mixtape for you." That's so true, and I do. Yeah. Oh my god. My music.
I'm on the other scale of Ben Wyatt, like to the point where like I lost my job and I'm making claymations at home. Like that's kind of where I'm at right now as Ben Wyatt.
But in your defense, the shit that you're doing is a hell of a lot better than it. I'd be worried for you if you were doing claymation videos. Because at least you can market this stuff.
Like, look, I just like stand in the place where you were.
It stops.
That took 3 weeks.
Oh, that took 3 weeks. Oh.
All right, let's start over. We're gonna start right here.
I hope you guys enjoyed.
This is our cut right there. This is me doing.